Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing another pen from Wancher. Wancher is a Japanese brand that I've reviewed a couple of pens from now, but this one is really lovely. So today I'm looking at the Sekai World Tree Sandalwood pen, and this is how it comes packaged. I really enjoy the Wancher packaging, and then we get it in a nice wooden box here. Lift up the box and there's like warranty card information, some cartridges, all that. It's just a really lovely experience. And this is the pen. So as I said, this is the Sekai World Tree Sandalwood with the matte silver clip. So I'm going to talk about the parts and features of this pen, do a writing sample, pros and cons, all that good stuff. Okay, top of the pen is flat. As you can see, it is wood. It's made of sandalwood. And so top of the pen is flat, and then the cap is primarily cylindrical. We get this sterling silver 925 sterling silver clip, which is actually detachable. You can buy the pen with or without the clip, and it's very nice. Matte silver. You can also get the polished silver version. A little step down onto the barrel, and then the barrel of the pen tapers until we get to the flat end. The cap unscrews in about 1 3/4 turns and reveals a plastic section with some lovely smooth plastic threads, and a section that tapers quite strongly to a little flare, and then a number 6 Yovo steel nib. It is also available with gold nib at an extra cost. But I have it here with a medium. I actually think that the Wancher logo on the nib looks very nice. A little M for medium there on the side, and it's got a standard plastic feed. Now, this pen is also available in a couple of different finishes. So it's available in the ebony and the Vera wood materials as well. And the whole idea of the World Tree pen, it's the Sekai model, and there are different versions of the Sekai, but the World Tree version is one of the aspirations is to be connected and peaceful, like the world tree in many mythologies. So, like, that's a nice sort of idea behind this pen. It is a standard international cartridge converter pen, and both are provided, as I showed you in the packaging. You get some cartridges, and a converter comes in the pen. It's a very nice, simple converter. It's a very nice, elegant, clean pen. Like, it's simple. It says everything it should do, and it does everything it should do. And as you see in the writing sample soon, you'll see it writes absolutely beautifully. Now, the pen does post. You can put the cap on the end there. It does make it very back heavy. A lot of the pen's weight is in the cap, especially if you get it with the sterling silver clip. Also, I wouldn't post this pen necessarily for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I don't want to sort of tarnish this beautiful wooden material, but also I think the balance is really nice and the size is really great unposted here. It's just a very good fit in the hand. So that's the basic parts and features of the pen. I think it's a really striking pen. I'll talk a little bit about more in the pros and cons about a couple of things. But one thing I did want to mention about this clip, as I said, it's detachable and it's available in a polished version and this matte version. And the matte version is done using natural hot steam from an onsen, in Japan, which is really lovely. It's nice that all this information is around, and that all these little elements of the pen and the inspiration behind the pen are all considered and part of the experience of the Wancher pens. Time for a size comparison now with the Lamy Safari. It's around the same length as Safari. It's not a particularly massive pen, but it's definitely a good size pen. It's a little bit girthier, particularly around the cap, than the Lamy Safari there. Uncapped, it comes in a little shorter than the Lamy Safari, but it does have the number 6 size nib. So I think the proportions of this pen are particularly good. And then posted, it comes in quite long. It's considerably longer here than the Lamy Safari, which is not a short pen. My personal preference for this pen is definitely to write with it unposted. As I said, the balance before, it's better when it is unposted. So what are the dimensions of the Wancher Sekai World Tree Sandalwood fountain pen? Well, it is 140 millimeters when it's capped. It's 128 when it is uncapped, and 165 when it is posted. So as you can see, it makes a fairly long pen. The section is around 10 millimeters there in the middle, And around the cap, we're looking at about 16 millimeters. So it's got decent girth, even though the section is not particularly wide. Now, in the two different versions, the pen weighs 27 grams in total if you get it with the clip, or 21 if you don't get it with the clip. The barrel of the pen is 11.5, and the cap with the clip is 15.5 and 9.5 without the clip. So the balance, I've tried it without the clip, and the balance is still just a little bit back heavy when it's posted, regardless of the version. I really do like this pen in the hand when it's unposted. It's incredibly comfortable, and the weight is sort of perfectly balanced there. Let's do the writing sample now. We have the Wancher Sekai World Tree Sandalwood fountain pen with the steel medium Yovo nib. The ink I have in this today is Waterman Serenity Blue. This pen writes insanely smoothly. I'm so impressed with how this pen writes. It's not the wettest nib, also not the wettest ink, but the flow is really nice, and it's incredibly smooth and consistent and reliable. Quick writing. There may have been a slight little skip just there, but generally speaking, it keeps up really, really well. Reverse writing is one of the better I've experienced. That's not bad at all. It is a stiff nib, and I probably wouldn't push it too hard, but I think it does a really, really lovely job. As I said, this pen, it writes so consistently and smoothly. It's a joy to write with. In the hand, it feels lovely, and the nib on the page feels great and lays down a lovely, sort of consistent flow of ink as well. I'm seriously impressed with it. So, what does the Wancher Sekai World Tree Sandalwood pen cost? Well, US price is $100 for the base model, so that's without a clip. So it's 159 Australian without the clip, and it goes up to 239 with the clip. So you're adding $80 for the clip. As I said, it is that sterling silver, and it's, the matte process on it is done naturally with steam. It's like you're adding onto that, and as I said, you also add on for the gold nib as well. So what are the pros and cons? Well, wood pens aren't for everyone. I really like this one. I really like wood pens, and this one is very, very nice indeed. My only real con with it is the posted balance of the pen, particularly with the clip, but the pen is plenty long enough to be written with unposted, and the balance is very, very good. So, what do I like? Well, firstly, I think it's a very nice wood. This sandalwood is beautiful, like the actual wood itself. The tone of it and the grain of it is really very, very nice, as is the having that sort of matte sterling silver clip there with the Wancher logo there, or name there on the clip. It's a beautiful pen. Ergonomically, the pen is amazing. Unposted, how it feels in your hand. I've done long writing sessions with this where it has felt I've felt no fatigue, and it's kept up and it's written beautifully. And then, of course, the star of this pen for me is that nib. And I know it's just a steel Yovo nib, but I love steel Yovo nibs. And every pen I've had from Wancher, well, the three of them now, have all written beautifully. And the Dream pen, which also has a Yovo nib on it, writes exactly the same. It's a slightly broad medium, it's wet, it's got good flow, just beautiful pens to write with. And so coupling the design and the ergonomics and the story and all that kind of stuff that they bundle into these pens, I think these are really very, very nice. And at $100 US, I think it's a pretty reasonable price point. Comes with a converter. Yes, it's just a cartridge converter pen with a steel nib, but there's a lot of workmanship and craft that goes into these pens, and I really enjoy it. So I hope you found this video interesting and useful. I'll link to it below so you can have a look at it, and some of the other pens from Wancher. I think they're really, really great. So a big thank you to Wancher for sending this pen out for review, and a big thank you to you. Please like and subscribe and hit the notifications button. Your support makes this channel possible. So if you've got things you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you would like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.